right, it is time for my housing market update for the week, and I'm super excited to tell you guys, especially after kind of a down week last week, what's happening in the market this week. So, Bill, you going to play my jingle or should I jump in? All right, guys. So I know last week I came to you guys with a bit of a down week, right? And we were watching really closely to see if that was due to the higher interest rates or if in fact like the market was slowing down or shifting. And so just to kind of give you some quick information, everything that I bring to you guys is from the Heart of Kentucky MLS, specifically focused on the week of May 26th through June 2nd. Of course, we're going to touch on some 30-day window information as well. As I continue to build this out, we're starting to map year over year and we're pulling that information. So I'll have more feedback and more data for you going forward. But this week gave us one of the clearest signs yet that our market is fundamentally healthy, even with the higher interest rates and real affordability pressure. Last week, we wondered whether that sharp drop in pending activity was seasonal or the start of a broader slowdown. This week answered it. Pending activity rebounded in a huge way. Over the last 7 days, we had 38 new listings come to the market. 36 homes went under contract and 39 families moved into their new homes. That is a huge recovery on the pending side, which tells me last week's dip was about Memorial Day, graduations, and school letting out, not weakening demand. Closings surged too, so activity is healthy across the board. I'm super excited to see this renewal, guys. If you remember last week, we had 9 go pending, which concerned me a little bit because it was about the same time that interest rates also increased. So we were watching really closely to see if that was just based on the amount of events and Memorial Day weekend and all of that, and it truly was. Days on market, it went up to 74. It dropped back down to 73 last week. So days on market had held steady at about 73 days over the last 30, and that stability matters. After the rapid acceleration we saw earlier this spring, the market is settling into a very normal rhythm. This is actually the 70s have been where we've been in for over a month and a half now. So, and I'm feeling grateful because as we move out of that hot spring market, which is always the most aggressive market of the year, I expected to start seeing a slowdown, and I'm grateful to see these numbers holding. So what this tells you, well-priced, well-positioned homes are still moving efficiently. On inventory, we have 382 active homes on the market in Hardin County, 141 homes sold in the last 30 days. Guys, that puts us at 2.7 months of inventory. That is incredibly low. This speaks to it being a seller's market, okay? So anything over a 5 is considered a buyer's market. Anything under a 5 is considered a seller's market. 2.7, we haven't seen those kind of numbers in a very long time. We're heading much closer to like post-COVID numbers. So it is a seller's market. Now, keep in mind, this is Hardin County wide. I hear it from people every day. Well, my neighbor's house has been sitting on the market. Absolutely, you have those one-off cases. However, statistically across the market, we are in a seller's market. On pricing, the average list price is $364,300. The average sold price is $344,836. Okay, so that gap, we've got a graph down on the lower side of this form, and this is all available on hardinlocal.com. Do you see how tight that gap is? We have bounced around and had different gaps since January. That gap has never been tighter, okay? So the things you need to know, buyers, you're gonna have to be a little more aggressive. Now we're still seeing huge amount of repair requests being honored. We're seeing closing cost support. It's still a healthy market for buyers. Sellers, your properties need to be presented on the market in a really great condition. Curb appeal matters. Interior condition matters. Get those little paint touch-ups completed. Staging is a big game changer for your property. But if you see this graph and you're hearing what I'm saying, it is a great time to list and sell. Rates are still a bit elevated. I checked with Motto Mortgage. Grafton Sizemore is my preferred lender. I spoke with him this morning. We're still seeing conventional rates about 6.75. Of course, it is credit specific. USDA, VA, FHA, they're on the lower side, anywhere in the low sixes. But I'm grateful to see that we're really not seeing a huge change in the market conditions due to the increase there. Talking a little bit about the different pricing brackets. So I've broken it down under 250,000. So if you called today and said, "Hey, Rachel, I want to start looking at homes," if you're searching under the $250,000 mark, you have about 87 options. Some of those are probably, not quite great. So you're probably looking more at about 70 homes or so. The active days on market is 65. What you should take from this is you're going to have to be a little more aggressive in that price category. Okay. So those homes move the fastest. It is the hottest market in our area. The average sale price in Hardin County right now is $299,990. So as you go down towards that 250 mark, just know those homes are on the greatest amount of buyers in our area can afford those homes. So you're going to be moving a little bit quicker. You need to be more aggressive. 250 to 400, we have 186 available homes on the market. 74 days on market is the average on those. So there's a lot of inventory there, a lot to choose from, and there's some really great deals. Just because it's a seller's market doesn't mean there aren't homes that have been priced in a position and they're hidden jewels. Okay, over 400,000, we have 111 homes that are available for viewing. This is a little bit slower, as you would expect. It's on the higher side of the average sale price in Hardin County. So the days on market is 80. That price point allows you to be a little bit more aggressive. You can get your closing costs paid for. You can ask for more repairs. So if you're searching in that 400 and above, you can be a bit more aggressive. The luxury market in Hardin County, that's really over 800,000. There's only 13 homes available. Okay, so those homes are absolutely stunning, incredibly beautiful, and you've got some really great deals because those homes tend to sit on the market the longest, right? Your buyer pool for luxury homes is very, very small. So the approach to listing those has to be very specific. It's a lot more work that goes into them, a lot of work with staging and design and getting them set just right before you bring them to the market. And just know if you're selling in that category, understandably, it's going to take just a little bit longer. I wanted to touch a little bit on the rental market. So we are seeing an increased contractor activity in our market due to the Ford project revamping. I've spoken to several contractors over there, and they are coming back in. They're being brought in on contracts for specific set amounts of time. So the big move on rentals right now is to offer midterm. Don't go to the investment yet of getting all the furniture, but if you own a rental that you are unable to secure either a long-term resident, or if you own a short-term and you're not really seeing the returns that you'd like to see, my encouragement would be to offer it as a midterm. Midterm basically means you keep the utilities in your name and you pay for those. You increase the rent to cover those, and then you provide them with the necessities: beds, mattresses, a couch, a TV, the things that they're going to need to set up home for 3 to 6 months. Oftentimes they end up staying for a year. So the midterm rentals is a great opportunity for local property owners that are maybe struggling to get their properties rented. All right, guys, that's about all I have for you guys. I mean, the big thing, the Hardin County housing market continues showing remarkable resilience, strong transaction activity, tightening inventory, and growing consumer adaptation to higher interest rates despite increasing affordability pressure. So just know it is a great time to still purchase. There are deals to be had. My team put over $4 million under contract within 48 hours last week. So just to give you an idea, the market is strong. Sellers, if you're thinking about selling, take advantage of this market condition. It is strong, and as we continue on during the year, we're probably going to see some adjustments to that just because of historical shifts in the market as kids go back into school and then we head into the holiday season. So give me a call today. I'd love to talk to you about what your property specifically looks like as far as value and how it would perform on the market today. That's my housing market update. I swear I hear that in my dream.
I wanted to mention, I heard was talking with my dad and some other people over the weekend, and I think they were saying there's probably going to be like another close to 1,000 contractors coming into town for the new Ford energy plant. So like that rental thing you were talking about with adding some, you know, stuff to the house and including utilities, that may make it even more. I would think that would make it more convenient for somebody that's here, working on that plan.
It really would. And, we had a bulk amount of multi-units come to the market. And so rent rates have been kind of all over the place. They've been dropping to absorb all of that new inventory. So I think it's a really smart play for individual property owners that are looking to get a return on their home, because you can increase that rent because you're providing those additional amenities. So I really think I would get it out there. I would advertise it as a midterm. I would mention that you're willing to provide basic amenities, include the utilities in the cost of the rent. It's a play that my team has started running, and it's working for us. And they're really great. The contractors are really great to have. Of course, they come home dirty from the job site, so just be prepared. Having some red clay in the house is going to be par for the course. But as far as they're low maintenance. They go home to their families. They don't travel with pets. So really a great opportunity for our local community and individual property owners. All right.
Do you want me to do this one? I'll do this one for you, just because. And hey, for everybody who signed up earlier in the show on hardinlocal.com, did you check your email and confirm the link? That confirmation step is the one that actually locks it in. So if you subscribed, but it didn't confirm yet, go find that email from us right now. Check your spam or junk if you don't see it, and move it to your inbox and click confirm. Once you do that, you're set for good. You'll hear from us no matter what. If you don't do that step, real hit or miss. With all the spam out there this day and age, our emails will go to spam. And we're not going to spam you. We're just going to give you this great information that you need to know. All right. Now it's